Yeah. See, here's the thing. Don't be loyal to nobody. Be loyal to principle. Right?
Hey, what's up, family? I just want to hop on here and share some quick reflections as I review my year. From day one to 2023 to now, my year has been super dope. Like, yeah, it's had its ups and downs, its peaks and valleys, right? But the day that I dropped this book right here, I had my book launch July 29, 2023, one of the happiest moments of my life. And then we're going into a season where we're doing a lot of internal work. We can't be outside in the sun living our best life no more. We gotta go inside, sit down, and do a lot of internal reflection, do a lot of healing, do a lot of reviewing and relationship building, right? Specifically relationship building with ourselves. And I'm telling y'all, this book right here will get you where you need to go. It's your how-to guide to live your best life as your best self. You want to Stranger Within Volume 1, make sure y'all grab y'all copy. Link will be below. Holla at y'all soon. Peace.
Peace, fellas. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast.
You know what it is.
Y'all the #1 podcast for families seeking to end generational dysfunction.
You know what it is? Action
What up,
is action, baby. I'm back in action, man. You know, we're an action brand, putting everything in an action plan, and you know what I mean, baby. Absolutely. Everything we say, everything we do comes in action and it moves in action because we're an action brand, baby. Like I keep telling y'all, we need some action figures. So if you make some toys and you like making toys and you need some action figures, you're looking at the right brothers. You thought I was about to say niggas because it rhymed. But anyway, today we got a special one.
Very special guest.
This one, hey, I'm not even holding it.
Legendary.
Me and Cuz was sitting in back, man.
Monumental.
We were sitting before the podcast started, me and Cuz Leon in the back. And we were just talking, man, and we was like, man, I said, man, your dad pull up, man, bro. We'll do an interview right on the spot. I said, normally, you know, we like to do it professional and, you know, set it up and stuff. I said, but you know, we family. Man, about 30 minutes to an hour later, man, we see him at the door. The crazy part about it, though, before I even get into it, crazy part about it was he was already on his way here before we even had that conversation.
Wow.
And man, I said, man, damn. So this is right on the spot, y'all. This is right on the spot, and I threw that in. So this is a real family moment, man.
Absolutely.
That's what I was saying at the beginning. That's why I'm feeling like that. It's a real action brand. This is a real family moment, man. This is Cuz. This is his dad. This is I call him Unc, even though he big Cuz. I still call him Unc. You know what I mean? Cause you know we got the age gap, but you know how that.
Oh man.
But you know how it is, though. It's out of respect, though. You know what I mean? You know, so yeah, man. I'm glad you're here, man. It was all like I told y'all. This is on spot. This is a family moment, man. Cuz in the back. He really doing his thing with the production, man. And I said, man. Crazy part about it, you know, I'm jumping everywhere, y'all, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself. But then, you know, crazy part about it, Big R over here, he do his rap thing. I said, man, y'all can, boom, get it together, man. It's a family thing. But I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, cuz.
Please let
them know who you are.
Hey man, definitely, man. It's a blessing to be here, you know, with family. My name is Leon Benson. You know, I'm an entrepreneur, published, author, public speaker, and community activist. And you know, it's just an honor to be down here in Indianapolis, you know, nap town that ain't so sleep no more, you hear me? So it's a beautiful thing, right? You know, it's that straight connection, that Indianapolis to Detroit to Flint, Michigan connection, worldwide. So it's truly an honor to be here with you brothers, you know what I mean? You said on the spot, man, hey, we leopards in this thing.
Man,
we on the spot.
Man, on the spot with it though, cause man, hey, I'm like, man, damn, I know that ain't. I said, man, that is cuz at the door, man. I said, man, as soon as I saw you at the door, I was already gonna ask you, you know, maybe try to do an interview, but you gotta ask people how they doing first. You know, you gotta make sure people in good spirits before they hop on this camera. You know?
No, I feel you, man.
And man, yeah, it was like how last time, sorry, because we only saw each other, this is only our second time seeing each other. But no, third. Because I remember the first time when we saw each other, he was like, man, we got a connection. I was like, man, I do feel like I saw you, but I know I ain't saw you because of the situation. I'm like, nah, I ain't here when you been. You ain't saw I'm like, but you were seeing a spiritual connection. You was,
Yeah.
you know, and I wasn't understanding what you were trying to say at the time. Then after we start talking, I'm like, damn, bro, I see what you mean. It seemed like we do, cause you remember at the restaurant, I was like, damn, we do seem like I've been knowing you for a minute.
Right.
And, you know, it just brought us here, man. So,
You
man,
know, you know something about that, man. Like, you know, with my particular journey, you know, I did that 25 years, you know, here in Indiana, Department of Corrections for a crime I didn't commit. But, you know, while I was down, you know, I met a lot of people.
Crime, though, they try to charge you with what?
Yeah, what's the story about?
Yeah, let's restore that.
Oh, man.
So they can know, they gonna want to know, you know.
You know, for those of y'all who don't know, you know, back in 1998, August 8th, on Pennsylvania and 14th Street in the near downtown area, Indianapolis, a kid named Casey Shane was brutally murdered, shot down, you know, in the streets. You know, at the time, you know, I was out in that area. I was getting my grind on, you know, doing my thing, you know, just in the streets, you know, making it happen that way. And because my name was ringing in the area, you know, police, they set me up for Casey Shane's murder. And I was arrested August 14th, so you know today is August 15th. You know, I'm down in Indianapolis. You know, I went to the scene of the crime. For all my people out there, you know, y'all seen that live that I sent y'all 26 years ago. You know, I was arrested, you know, for that crime. And, you know, while inside for that long, you know, you go through a lot of changes, man. There's a lot of transitions, you know, that go with this. This is more of a spiritual walk than anything, you know. And when I say spiritual, it's the practice of a high thought, you know. One need not to be religious to do that. It is your way of life, your practice. And it was a spiritual journey, you know, for me, you know, because to be innocent, it made me confront myself. Like, I know you're innocent of that crime, but are you an innocent person? This stuff I just did on my own. I was like, man, no, nobody is innocent. We all innocent, born guilty, you know what I mean? And it took me a while to get those concepts, but my main growth really started when I went to solitary confinement in 2001. And I wouldn't see general population for a decade. They tried to bury me alive.
For a decade?
Yeah, no, the whole decade, you know what I mean?
God damn, I know that plays some type of mental issues on, because they be doing this, and I think that's fucked up, man, because my brother right now, he's serving 63 years, man. And they be putting, he was, you know, man, they be putting him in solitary confinement, man. So, like, what kind of, that shit crazy.
I'm gonna tell you like this. The best description that I can give to solitary confinement, I know y'all heard of the term belly of the beast.
Yeah,
right? Sure. Belly of the beast. Did you know, the concept of it originated in the Bible with Jonah, right?
Yeah.
When Jonah was swallowed by the whale.
Yeah.
But then the first person to really use that was Che Guevara. And then you had a dude named Jim Abbott that wrote a book called Belly of the Beast. And that was a metaphor for prison, right? But the reason why I shared that with you, because solitary confinement isn't the belly of the beast. It's the womb of the beast. And the reason why I say that, because when you put on long-term, you know, solitary confinement, they put me up under like statewide AS, administrative, you know, segregation, which is different from disciplinary. Even though you in the same space, the big difference is disciplinary, you know, confinement, solitary, you know when you leaving. You like, I'm gonna be gone in a year. I'm gonna be gone in 2. But on administrative segregation, your term is indefinite until they figure it out. So you sitting like in this purgatory. So how long would somebody gestate? I call it the womb, because when you sit there in that time, you gestate in this trauma, man, this pathology, You know, all these things, you know, instead of the embryonic fluids of a mother that's nurturing her seed, here the embryonic fluids is psychological torture and trauma. You know what I mean? The cup port become the umbilical cord. You receive everything in there, your mail, your food, you know, your whole likelihood is coming through that hole like it's an umbilical cord. So I sat there and I was thinking, you know, like an elephant has the longest gestational period than any mammal on Earth, 23 months. I'm in there indefinite for 10 years. So it was really like 9 years and some change. But I just sum it up to 10, but look at that 9 though. Like, instead of 9 months, it was 9 years. And I was really close to 10, like 9 years and 7 months. You know what I mean? But all together, I would do more solitary confinement time after that. It equaled up to 11 years altogether. But this straight run was like 9 years and 7 months. So I was in there gestating, man, and I went through a lot, man. You know what I mean? And I definitely share some of them stages with you if you willing to listen, right?
Man, listen, man. Listen, I'm willing to listen.
Yeah, this is what the podcast is for.
This is what it's for, man.
Keep it real. Real things that families go through in real life.
Yeah.
This had an impact on your family.
Real shit.
And it's indirectly impacted me, which indirectly impacted him as well. But directly and indirectly impacted me,
Right.
and indirectly impacted him. My cousin, so yeah.
And I love the fact that, you know, you guys are on lineage, right?
Yep.
That's so crucial. And what I would tell y'all in that period, I don't talk about that period that much. But I want to focus on that period because it's really big. It got something to do with your DNA, you know. Mm-hmm. So the thing that we know that our DNA, it completely, you know, changes with 7 years. We have a new set of DNA. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, whatever you was thinking, whatever you was going through, it's passing that DNA. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Great.
So your DNA, no, that's your lineage right there. You know what I mean? And I want to say, man, blessings to all my ancestors because I had to struggle, overcome gene, right? So I had to survive under pressure. So when I came into it, it was devastating. For one, I got sent to solitary confinement because a confidential informant in the prison said they seen me stumping on the guard. But the paperwork is out. The guard gave a confidential statement saying that all white guys was jumping on them. So I feel like it was political because of my case. And they just found a reason to put me in solitary. So this was November. By December, well, wait, let me put some context on it. So I'm innocent in prison. Now I'm innocent in solitary and within the prison. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on?
Did that keep you, did being innocent keep you kind of like, man, I'm eventually get out? Did that keep you a little bit of hope, or did eventually that you being innocent was like, man, fuck it, that shit don't matter no more?
I mean, you got different times, but I say initially with having that thought, that's what was devastating. I'm like, oh man, you know, I'm innocent, you know, oh man. And you know, then, you know, I had some conflicts with the family. Somebody in my family was sexually assaulted. I couldn't be there. This is December. January 2002. Mm-hmm. Man, my granddaddy died. February 2002, my father died. February 2002, my direct appeal gets denied. I'm like, oh. And then on top of all that, I called out to the world, all my money was gone. I was like, oh man, like what? So that's what I developed in. That's what the system was giving me at the time. And I was gestating, and I had to figure it out. But it took a long time to really get to the place where I'm at now. I was sent there to be destroyed. What was sent and what was given to me to poison me, I eventually turned it into things that'll make me prosper. I turned it into purpose. It was absurd. It was absurd. And I realized that I had a choice after a while. It ain't no sense with yelling at the wall for nothing. Right? So I came into an acceptance. Now, it's kind of hard for us to say accept because it seems like we're compromising. But you must accept reality. You must accept laws. So at the time, my back against the wall, I got to fight a different fight. I had to accept that. I had to accept that I was going to fight to the end. I accepted that truth never dies. I accepted that when I said it's only be discovered, that it's a contradiction in that. Because you got them brothers who was wrongfully incarcerated and accused of murdering Malcolm X. Right? One of them brothers died before he got a chance for his name declared. Right? So I had to accept that it was an inherent contradiction in my own mantra. Truth never dies. It's only be right. I'm saying this against the wall like, oh man, do it.
Real shit.
Right? What do I need to do to speed this process up? You know?
No, real shit.
So you got those type of things that happen in solitary. And you know, more than anything, when you look at prisons, you know, prisons anymore is the new housing of the mentally ill.
Yep.
Right? Because they abolished all mental institutions, but they made more prisons. So it's to house pretty much people that got mental illness problems. And when you in solitary confinement in the SHU during that time, it was crazy. I'm talking about Event Horizon. You ever see the movie Event Horizon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but they went to another dimension in a black hole. They was like, oh man, this is just a whole nother world. You know, people throwing feces, all that stuff you can't even imagine, man. People would say anything. I had to get over all that and fight that. Wow. I was fighting for my freedom, you know what I mean? And back to what you asked me, it's different times, like, I'm like, I know I'm innocent.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I had that thought, man, I'm innocent, I'm gonna get out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the delusion of, you know, reprieve, which is a term where when you stuck in a situation or you doomed to die, you had this thought like, nah, they ain't gonna do it, man. They gonna come get me, right? Mm-hmm. Right? They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna push the button, man. Nah, they gonna rush in. Somebody is gonna rush in and say, Leon didn't do this, man. We just was playing, you know, take him back to his life. But it don't work like that, you know. And sometimes it don't work like that. So initially, that's some of my naivete, you know, coming to the table with that thought, because you innocent. That's my thought, like, you guilty to proving innocent. That's what I thought. I wanted to play with that narrative. But the reality is you guilty into proving innocent. Not innocent proving guilty. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if I said, did I say that backwards the first time?
Yeah, it was all good. But
yeah.
We feel you.
Yeah, but you get where I'm coming from. And once you realize that, that's like a deep mind in the course. It really, you know, conflicts with your mind, with your values, with your existence. So I did think like that. But then I realized that it don't matter if you're innocent. That don't mean that you would get out of this. You know, they might close the casket on you, you know.
Real shit.
And let me ask you this. When it comes to family, right?
Yeah.
You still have responsibilities outside of the laws for family members. So how were your relationships with your children? While they were literally growing up, how were your relationships with your children when you were wrongfully convicted?
Hey, that's a deep question. You know, the thing about this injustice and about prison period is, you know, it affects the family. As one of my brothers, man, the bad Ben Israel, who's still inside, free him, an innocent man that's incarcerated. But one thing that during one of our conversations, he shared that a trauma blast radius, right? So you get incarcerated, boom, it's immediately touching your son, your daughter, your significant other, your mother, everybody, because when you are incarcerated, they are incarcerated. Those who really care about you, they are incarcerated. And because of that trauma part, this is me looking at it in retrospect and understanding, and I'm not speaking from a reactionary place no more. So even when I look at the past, I can see it. So the barriers that we had was because of the trauma. Like, I'm finna come, my kid's mother, like, I got to come up there and relive all that every time. So that was a deterrent, but I always wrote letters, to my children every step of the way. And, I definitely appreciate their mother for, writing back. We had a nice little back and forth thing going. And, even if I wasn't there, I try to have my presence really strong at key parts of their life the best way that I can. But it really wasn't until Leon and my daughter Kobe was like 13 and 12 that I really had a good chance to kick it with them. They was talking, when I was inside, I used to talk on the phone, and I got to learn who they were. I seen they had their own personalities, things like that. And, I was living with the problems that I couldn't solve. Being in there, it is. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. Families are locked up.
Yeah, man, and if I can touch a little bit on, man, cuz Leon, I keep saying cuz, cause they can't see him. So,
Shout out to Leon
behind
the
so
cameras.
cuz, he had to go through what I had to go through growing up, just because of something, not even your fault, you know what I mean? Something that could have been prevented if our justice system was ran correctly.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then that led to Cuz going through what he had to go through. You know what I mean? Me and Cuz had plenty of discussions, man. It's when you grow up without a dad, bro. Here in Indianapolis, man, I don't know how it is everywhere else. But shit, growing up in the area me and Cuz come from, we come from far east, man. None of us got dads, man. It's either destruction, it's either penitentiary or death. Cuz had to do his time, and so like you said, that impacted everybody's life. Imagine if, you could have been, and it ain't like you wasn't an active dad. Like I said, he pulled up. So it ain't like you wouldn't have been an active dad, because as soon as you got out here, you pulled up. So you know what I mean? It's like, I see what you're seeing, they destroyed you, but not only they destroyed you, they're trying to destroy your family, your legacy too.
Yeah.
They try to destroy you and everything you can.
Guess what? It didn't work.
It didn't work. Now we here, and look how far everybody moving good, moving up the ladder. But it's just I just want them to show them like, damn man, it's everything how they play things. When they take the man, they know what they doing. That's why this is so important. Because they take the man out the house and they know how everything will unfold. That's why I said that, to show that. Like, that was their strategy. You take the man out and everything, look how everything unfold. You know what I mean? With a father in the household, man, everything, the right house, the right father and the right mother.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely need them elements there.
Man.
When you say that, you make me think about some things of the past, like things like COINTELPRO, things like that, different entities that's attacking communities of color.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with one of my throwbacks, man, over there off 16th Street. My man Kenny, man, we was having a talk. And I was like, why would the detective set me up? Like, I thought I was doing my little thing. I was a little 100,000 there. but I wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't like I had bricks on bricks. I wasn't doing that much to be set up. I wasn't killing, you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to be real with myself. Like, I wasn't no kingpin, right? Why would you set me up? And the brother Ken, he told me, he said, man, the thing about it, sometimes we don't know who we are, but Agent Smith do. So sometimes that's probably why, let's nip them in the bud, you know, before they can get a chance to get started. You know, because if you switch your influence from selling dope, running gangs, you know, stuff like that, to getting votes, you know, erasing pain, you know, leading your community, now this is going against agendas that really work towards your disadvantage. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got to keep that copacetic. You know what I mean? These entities are thinking to themselves, you know, it's so many ways. And then, you know, it's a level of learned helplessness that comes from within, you know, our community as well. We taking in that trauma and putting it upon each other. You see what I'm saying? You know, so it is a cycle of that's real. But I tell all young men this, you know, there's always mentors out there. Don't be afraid to get a mentor. You know, find a real OG. A real OG. Not the stuff you see in the movies. You know, somebody that's established, that got a track record of being some, you know, you can find that father figure in them, you know, and you don't got to do it on your own. And just because you grew up in a single mother household, that don't make you less. You just lacked, you know, a father figure. But you can find them, you know, out there, you know, if you're looking for them. And it's time for us to really just unveil that trauma. That's all what we are dealing with. You know, that's why I love Kendrick Lamar and Mr. Morale. Yeah. Daddy issues. I'm having daddy issues. You know, we grieve different. That's another thing too. Everybody don't grieve the same. We grieve different. But to the effects of what you said, and you know, look, I apologize for all, you know, real fathers who just wasn't there. Because at the end of the day, no matter what happened, I wasn't there. And as a parent, I will always live with that guilt. So my thing is the next person up. Him, I'm like, look, this is how you can be a better father. I'm like, nah, bro, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing that. See, the generational curses isn't something that's so metaphysical as it is cultural. Mm-hmm. Right? We can change that, recondition that. You know, change that trauma into triumph. Yep. But we got to acknowledge it though. And a big part of it that make me feel guilty as a parent, mm-hmm. my absence allowed for it to fester. Mm-hmm. Whether innocent, guilty or not. So I can't use that as no excuse. So when we talking about, you know, lineage and what we need to, that's the part. Now I got to go to them babies, to the seeds, hey, and try to pull them weeds up before they grow in that garden and taint everybody, you know.
And before we move on, definitely want to take a moment and give flowers to my beautiful, bold, and benevolent best friend, Kobe. I would have never met you without her being in my life. Yeah. So I want to definitely give her flowers. She's with her family in Alabama right now. Because this is, your story's changed my life.
Wow.
And was it like a year or two? Yeah, last year we went to Chicago. I met another brother named Sean Tyler. He was wrongfully convicted as well.
Okay.
And it was, man, hearing your story and hearing his story, that gave me a new appreciation of life. And just how many things I took for granted, because I did have my dad in the house growing up. And then he transitioned in 2016 when I was really navigating adulthood for real, manhood for real. And like that, knowing what you've been through and heard brother Sean Tyler's story about his wrongful conviction. It was like, man, like not even getting into a comparison game. It's like, bro, you got so much to be grateful for. Like these brothers made it. You gonna be alright. Gonna be good. So y'all can make it. Y'all are making it now. They're like, I'll have no excuses. I say, and I don't even use the word humble. I'm saying it in the most humble way. You know what I mean? I know what the true definition is, but we creators, we're gonna create our own definition of that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I say that in the most humble way, with the most humility. I appreciate you, for real.
Hey man, I appreciate
I
you.
love you too.
Hey man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. You know, a lot of people can't on your end. Like when I tell people, you don't have to necessarily go through what somebody been through. For me, what get me through, the same humility and gratitude you just expressed to me, I expressed to the ancestors before me, right? I seen Nelson Mandela in prison for 27 years and get out and become the president. You know, I read on people like Viktor Frankl, you know, that was in a concentration camp, that brought logotherapy to the world. I read about the Hurricane Reuben Carters, you know what I mean? And I see it's like so many people before me, but even before that, because way before existentialist philosophers came up with their concepts, you had African peoples here in the Americas and throughout the transatlantic slave trade who were finding meaning and purpose despite their oppression, despite their hardship, right? And how dare anybody laugh at our parents? The fool is somebody that laugh at somebody cracking a joke about their mama. You can't crack no joke about my people, man, these indigenous people, man, that started it all.
Man.
Don't do that, because without them, I wouldn't be here. So when you express that gratitude, man, I really appreciate that, brother. Like, that gratitude is real. And let me tell you, you seen I wrote a book, Letters of Gratitude.
Man, if I would have known you was coming, I would have had that thing right here. Hey,
Oh,
grab
man.
a copy.
Let them know where they can get it at.
Oh,
Like, that
man,
thing.
you definitely can go get my book, best-selling book, right? Amazon hit me with, you know, some of them zeros. Hey,
Congratulations.
look, best-selling book, Letters of Gratitude, I Am Because We Are, by Leon Benson. It is everywhere, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon. Go pick up your copy and check out my letter of gratitude to everybody. And the reason why I said your gratitude and sharing and having that attitude is so crucial, because you're not without lack, right? Love is abundant, man. I'm happy for what I, and you make it happen with what you got. I was in solitary confinement and I was screaming at the top of my lungs, man. You know, I was angry. I was in that rage mode, man. I'm like, man, I'm innocent. I shouldn't even be here. Y'all playing with my tray. You know, the guards used to play with my tray. People banging. I'm like, oh, man, I'm almost going mad. Then I just stopped. And I thought about K.C. Shane, right? He was a white gentleman. You know, he was shot. He was 25 years old at the time. Never met him. Don't know him. But I'm in a fit of animosity and rage. And I got quiet, and it, a little voice whispered to me like, you still got a chance, Casey, gone. And my attitude started to switch. I was like, damn. And I started to empathize, even with his family, despite some of the bad things that were said to me and my family, right? I was like, damn, if somebody took my loved one, I'd be mad as hell too. And especially if I believed in the system. Damn. But once I did that, I started to have a higher level of gratitude. Because it's nothing is a given, man. Even waking up, man, I seen a brother while I was inside. Oh man, this brother right here, he was hooping. He was hooping the day before, having fun. Next day he died. I was like, oh man, how did this happen? One day I seen a brother on a basketball court. Man, this brother, man, he was out. He was doing the most. I was like cold-blooded. And people was telling me, they was like, I don't even see why bro is out on the court. He take nitrogen pills for his heart, right? So as it play out, I'm looking, I'm like, damn, man, is he feeling good? No, he on the suicide mission. He don't even want to be there no more. So he took it all out on the court, right? They was like, man, you know, because he can't move, he can't let his heartbeat get up. And I seen my man die right there on the floor. I was like, damn. So nothing is a given in this world, you know, and that gratitude you sharing, I just looped it in with where you was coming at and just showing you on a great path. But I also want to show you I am, because we are, you know, hey, you know what I mean? And so you did the same thing. I just took it back, you know, and just made it full circle, man. So I appreciate that.
That's real, man. That's real. And to be in a dark place and still come out and not have hate and spread love and to still be calm. And man, you made a post, man. I liked it, but I didn't say nothing because I don't be trying to comment too much. But come on stuff, man, because I be having a lot to say, and I be talking too much. I text a whole paragraph to guys, but you show love to the and condolence to the family.
Yeah.
Of Casey Shane.
Yeah.
And that was the guy who was wrongfully convicted of murdering.
Right.
Man, I think that takes a lot of a man to do, because that's showing like, damn, even though I got dragged into this situation.
Right.
And I didn't have it, my family didn't tumble. Now I gotta come out and I didn't tumble. And I done went through all this bullshit. I done been mentally tortured. I done been hungry. I done been all type of shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That you probably ain't even unraveled yet.
Man.
You know what I mean? So to be like, damn, I'm still gonna fight for his justice and get love, bro, that's a lot. Cause I can't even lie. In my shoes, I feel like I've been like, shit, forget all that, man. All that's wrong, bro. I don't care no more about this situation, because y'all did me wrong. You know, for you not to say, hey, even though y'all did me wrong, I'm still gonna get love. Taking pictures and all that, bro, that shit, bro, that take a man to do, bro. You
go through certain things that make sense, right? You go through certain things that make sense, like self-healing. Like, if you say, you know, I want love for me, you got to see love in other people.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so I fight for what I love, and I love for what I fight for. So we got to have ideas that we living with, you know, principles.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. Don't be loyal to nobody. Be loyal to principle. Right? If somebody following principle and doing, so I hold myself accountable like that. I'm like, I wanted forgiveness, so I need to learn how to forgive. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Forgiveness, you letting it, you know what I mean? That don't mean we take none out the fight. If you ever heard of the great Japanese samurai fighter named Miyamoto Musashi? He got a book called The Five Rings. This dude never lost a battle, right? But he was always magnanimous. He knew that he had to have a mindset that was present. He had to deal with a lot of forgiving, you know, things like that. Even after he defeated his opponent and had to kill him, you know, he did it with honor. He wasn't laughing about it. You know, he took them with him. So my point is, you know, that's what it's all about with me. You know, what I learned in there, this is something.
How long did it take you to fight for? How long did it take you to fight and actually, like, what actually finally proved your innocence? Like, what the hell? What took so long for them that realized that you was innocent? What proved your innocence? Would you find some lawyers, or did you start digging up some shit yourself? Or?
Oh man, I was a jailhouse lawyer the whole time. You know,
I know I'm throwing it off there.
No.
You touch on that.
No, we can touch on that. You know, you have to, I stayed in there, man. I did everything. I hit the law library day one.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I wrote the Innocence Projects early. Like, it was another Indiana Innocence Project that was established in 2000 here in Indiana. And I wrote them immediately. Denied, you don't got no DNA. I probably wrote them 20 times. They denied me because I didn't have no DNA. I thought that was an inherent contradiction because according to the literature, you know, from big innocent advocates like, you know, Barry Schreck of the New York Innocence Project, in their book, you know, Innocence, something like that, but the number one statistic of causes, number one cause of all wrongful convictions, of the most wrongful convictions, is eyewitness identification. And that's what I suffer from, you know, but since the DNA thing was going, you know, people, they was really clinging to that, which is understandable. Like, we can solve this case real quick, we just get the DNA. You know what I mean? You know, everybody got that microwave mindset, but a lot of these cases are more complex, like mine. It was more complex, and I got turned down by all the Innocence Projects, everything. And, you know, I admit, when I was inside, I had to go to what I know. You know, I had to hustle while I was in there to get lawyers, and I was able to connect with some people outside that helped me fundraise too, as well, things like that. You know, I went through lawyers, you know, back and forth that, you know, that really just was taking money from me. My PCR lawyer, he wasn't gonna call a witness, right? And my people was there, like a key witness, like a witness that seen what happened and was saying this from day one. He tried to act like, oh man, I called him, I couldn't get a hold to him. And my sister called this guy, and he was there. Like, nobody called me, man, come on to the court. And even when I got in the court and the evidence was out there, I was stonewalled. So a big part of the system for me, my battle was being gaslighted. All this stuff that's proving my innocence was already there. They was gaslighting it the whole time. So what really facilitated that? Just to give some gratitude now. Let me give some gratitude. First and foremost, to the George Floyd family. This is weird because that man shouldn't have died the way he died. But because of that, and because of COVID-19, and that concoction of pain and fear, it caused one of the biggest of evils, you know, in American history, that had white people. It was multicultural, you know what I mean? And it was a huge thing. And when that happened, prosecutors around the country was like, it got their attention. And so they start developing more conviction integrity units, CIUs. And this happened to be the case for Indianapolis, right, for 2021. But I had inadvertently, not knowing that at the time, I filed a clemency just as a prelude, you know, filing for a sentence modification.
But you always already in motion.
Yeah, I'm in motion.
Already.
So I threw my little nets out there to get more support for my clemency, and I bumped into Shannon Coleman. She was a basketball mom from Philadelphia. But in her support letter, she wrote to the board, to the clemency board, that she helped a young man named Anthony Wright. Anthony Wright was falsely and wrongfully accused and convicted of murdering her great aunt. And she said something was wrong, like someone, like she looked into it. She helped him, you know, get the people to his case that showed the DNA. It wasn't him. He wasn't even there. And I seen that. I'm like, man, she want to help me, and she the one who turned me on. This is like July 2020, in the middle of the, you know, still we going through the pandemic, and hey, before I know it, I had a questionnaire on the CIU desk. In April of 21, they took my case in July. Now, I had exhausted all my legal remedies. All of them. Only thing I could file was the actual innocence to jump past the time of restraint hurdle because I ran out of my federal HAVE time because of shenanigans of the prison. I was in solitary confinement, people messing with me, jumping on my case. I had a lawyer jumped on my case. I'm like, why are you on my case? I did not hire you. Get off of my case. Just at the last minute, all type of shenanigans, right? So it made me exhaust my time limit for the federal. So I had to do that actual innocent petition, which was complex to me at the time. Long story short, Shannon came through again, my godmother. She introduced me to Laura Bosline, who happened to be a professor at the San Francisco School of Law, San Francisco, and she was the director for the Racial Justice Clinic as well. And she got on my case in August. I was like, oh man. So we going down this thing. Now it seems surreal. Now I'm just telling you what I'm seeing 2020 hindsight. But as I'm going through it, you know, these lawyers, you know, and definitely shouts out to that whole team, San Francisco School of Law, all those students that got involved with my case. Hey, shouts out to Charlie. Charlie, oh my God, you know, she was one of the lawyers on my case. And, you know, Charlie Cleaver Nelson and Laura Bosline, they just so, wow, they was in it. They was going at it. They was the key. You know, if I didn't have that backup, I don't know if the CIU would have overturned my case. I can't say that. Need a couple of days. It's like, boy, my throat hurt.
Hey, I always be on this motherfucker sipping. Hey, right now, this is the perfect time, man. If you got any water, if you got any type of drinking product, you see that? My man just took a drink, and I'm always taking a drink. It would have been your product, baby. And hold on, cuz, let me finish. And if look, hit the DM and hit us and we'll let you know everything else. Everything else. We ain't gotta give them too much detail. Just give them enough and let them know to hit us up. And we got everything for y'all.
I might have
that been a nice for us, though. Man, that been a nice one. You would have took a sip of it. Cuz would have took a sip. Cuz don't drink if y'all give us a sip. I mean, if y'all give us a product to sip.
Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah, that's
I promise, cuz gonna be on there sipping.
He ain't lying.
I promise, man.
I'm gonna set something up for us. Anyway, back to the story.
Yeah, man, I just had to do that, man, because you still
man.
Thank you for that, cuz.
Yeah.
It's connected.
Man, no, that water, I really needed that water. But here's the thing though. So all that's happening.
Yeah.
These women, they came down here, boots on the ground in Indianapolis. They all over the crime scene.
Yeah.
And they bumped into the detective. His name is Alan Jones. And what he did was they found in his notes that it was another eyewitness that they didn't turn over to me. A confidential informant for IAPD came forth like I was with the shooter. I know who did it, everything, and it was, he even wrote it in the
Maybe he
letter.
had some hatred towards you.
You know what I mean? But he was telling them who did it, not me. He was saying who really did it.
Damn.
Right? So the detective just put that to the side, like he just pursued me. And that's why I go to what my man Kenny said. Shouts out to Kenny. He said, man, sometimes when you don't know who you are, the Agent Smiths do. Because I just don't, you know what? I would like to meet Alan Jones. I would like to meet him and look at him. Not even be disrespectful or nothing. But like, I'm here, man. Like, he need to see that. He need to experience that full circle. Like, what was you thinking? Whatever he was thinking, you know, why would you do that? You see what I'm saying? But I'm here. What you thought I was gonna break? I was just a young kid full of fire, you know? Let me say this. So he confessed to that.
Yeah.
And said he did that. You know, he wrote a declaration, an affidavit, you know, explaining, you know, what he did. He withheld the evidence.
Yeah.
But then I asked my lawyers, like, who is overseeing my case? Like, what judge? The judge name was Satrice Flowers, right?
Yeah.
Right? Look, so I'm in there, right? I want to keep it real, though. Satrice, though. I was like, damn, is she 25 or something like? You know, what time? That's an African American original name. You know what I mean? You know, Satrice Flowers. I was like, damn. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, man, I might got a chance. So it's just, I figured it ain't just having a woman of color or somebody of color on your case. I was looking for empathy that I hadn't received. I was dealt a cold hand of inhumanity, like with the way the courts did. I was gaslighted by the same laws that said contrary to those decisions. I'm like, come on, that ain't even law. Why you doing me like that? You know? So to have her on there, it was big. And, you know, I looked up and I was walking out of prison. They called my name. You know what I mean? It happened on a Wednesday, right? It happened on a Wednesday. It happened on a Wednesday, right? You know, I'm sitting back, you know, with all, you know, I'm on my thugged out James Baldwin right now, you know. It happened on a Wednesday. It happened on a Wednesday, and you know, I wasn't released, you know, up out of the womb of the beast, you know, and rebirth to the world on the 9th. On the 9th, you know, October, you know, right? You know, so, you know.
Is it October 9th?
No, it was really March. I don't know why I said October, right?
Okay.
I was in
That's my daughter's birthday.
But it was in March 2023 I got out. You know, it was beautiful, you know. So it was a lot of effort. It's not one single I gave you that part that was like the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Right? But it's so many elements, like
what happened before,
right?
The first quarter. What? Because
right? Because I gave y'all the first quarter.
We're gonna have to do a part 2. Because man, we didn't even get to ask you. Because that's a lot more questions I want to ask you. Like, how was your childhood growing up? I want to ask you.
We can do that another time.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying though. That's what I'm saying. We need part 2 because you know that's what you know.
Yeah.
Ask you how your childhood was growing up. What was going on before that happened? You know, all that. So we gonna give them a part 2, man. And let them know, cuz.
Most definitely.
Yeah, we definitely can do that. I think
we can schedule that one, and that one won't be on the fly. That one won't be on the fly like this one. This one.
Oh man, but you know what? If it's in you, it's never really. It ain't a such thing as an impromptu.
Yeah.
You know, if your heart and your intentions is there. You know what I mean? I love what y'all doing. You know what y'all doing around the community. So
appreciate it.
Even despite that bad thing, like I like to share with you. Like I've been home for 1.5 years. You know, I haven't been compensated or anything, you know, I haven't been given nothing, man. I had to just really do it from the mud, like, you know, with family members. I put on my people put on a GoFundMe for just 25 bands. Hey, I appreciate the people that donated and got me 7, like 1.5 years. I just got 7 from that. I appreciate it. I don't have to get anything, but you know, deep down inside, I'd be telling a bold-faced lie if I told you, like, I feel like, damn, I deserve something. Like,
you do, bro.
You know what I mean? I deserve, like, why I got to come through and struggle, you know, out here, you know. But you know, life is a struggle, you know. But at the end of the day, I do it with a level of gratitude. And one thing I committed to is helping other people. And my mission statement, my personal mission statement is, I will ensure that truth continues by exercising the values of creativity, dependability, and responsibility. So we can take that purpose and apply it to anything. It ain't about what you do, but it's about the principle behind it. That's why I was telling you, don't be loyal to people, be loyal to principle. Because the minute somebody fall off principle, that ain't your brother in that moment. That ain't your sister. They own something else. And the minute that you get to doing all that, I'm not rocking with you.
Real talk.
You know, I can give you a chance, but I got to accept that it must be a character flaw or something.
Real talk.
We can't get down with that, right? You got to move them off to the side.
Real talk.
And I say that in a stern way because I lost 25 years of my life not really realizing that some of the people around me wasn't worth being around in my life because we didn't really have the same principles. You see what I'm saying?
Agreed.
You know, and that's really what it's about. So I'm out here, you know, now I live in Detroit. Had to go back to the home front, you know what I mean? I'm from Flint, Michigan. Shout out to Flint.
Shout out to Flint. We got
Right.
family in Flint.
Love
Shit.
Flint, you know, homegrown Flintstone kid for life. I'm a Flintstone kid. It ain't talking about the vitamins, you hear me? So it's like going back to Michigan, seeing what's going on. You know, I was able to just do a lot of community stuff, you know, with the people and everything, you know. I always was saying their name, you know, for guys that's inside in Indiana. I know these brothers. 25 years, that's a real, like, relationship. I know them better than I know anybody in the world.
Real talk.
And how would I look turning my back on the struggle? So, you know, I say their name. I do what I can while establishing myself. And, you know, so one of the things that I did early, you know, and I'm still a development outreach coordinator for Freer Records, right? You know, they gave me a chance, you know, with my first job, for real job back in August of 23. So that was cool. You know, we done some things, made some progress, and I learned a lot in the process, you know, about the business, you know, about funding, you know, nonprofits, because Freer Records is the only nonprofit music label in America that caters to prison impacted people. So I met Fury Young like in 2014 when I was locked up. You know, this brother greeted me at the door when I got out. You know, we even shot a video. You can go on YouTube, L. Bentley 448, and you will see the first 448 documentary in my first 48 hours out. You know, Fury helped me put that together. So my next job is the job that I'm in now too, is I'm a trauma-informed, peer-led reentry navigator. This is with the Nation Outside. Nation Outside is an organization that started from justice impacted and prison impacted people in Michigan in 2015.
Yeah.
So they pushed a lot of great policy in the legislation for expungement of records, of fair housing for people with backgrounds, the box, you know what I mean? So they've been on the scene with that. So they just got this program up and going like 180 days ago. And they contracted with MDOC. So it's a real thing. So in this job, I have meetings with people getting out of prison. I'm like, man, like I'll be here for you. I give them my number and I help them navigate. But our biggest thing is that trauma. Because people suffer from trauma before they go into prison, during prison, after prison. But that trauma is 3 types of traumas. Right? You got acute trauma. That's just something happened one time. You know, you got in a car crash, that was trauma. You can have long-term effects, but that's a trauma, that's acute. But then you have chronic trauma, where it's a continuous thing that's happening. It's continuous abuse. So you can say I had a chronic trauma in prison, right? I'm like, oh man, I'm in solitary, like, you know,
Back to back.
right, it's just on you. But then you have complex trauma where you got more than one chronic trauma going on the same time. I'm like, what? You say granddaddy died? You say my appeal got denied? And what my baby said, ain't nobody coming to see me, but I'm still in this, right? So using that with the lived experiences, that's why it's peer. And I tell the brothers, I say, I'm not your parole agent. I'm not your supervisor. I'm your peer. You're not my client. You're not my subject. You're my peer. I'm going to look at you eye to eye. Because I know the conversations on the yards. A yard is a yard is a yard. And we relate. So I've been really blessed to be working that job in Detroit and really, helping and doing the things I need to do for the justice impacted community. I think right now on the job, the best thing that I got going right now, I want to pick up, man, a brother.
And let them know where they can find artists at, so where they can find you at and all of that, so they can follow you and see you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell them all that. The best thing I got. I want to say this before I plug out is I picked up a gentleman from Jackson Penitentiary, Parnell. Everybody in Michigan know what I'm talking about. This is like the biggest prison, in Michigan. And I went and picked this brother up. Within 3 days, I got him a job. And I can't make this up. Today, on my way up here, this is my day off. I took a day off from work to come up here and, go to this grand opening of the new Indiana Innocent Project. Despite of everything else, you got to be that higher ideal. I want to show up for that idea. Like, come on, you're going to help somebody. You might have didn't have the capacity at the time to help me. And I felt the way about that, right? But I get it though, So I'm going to show up for you. This is what accountability look like. You see what I'm saying? So this cat, man, he just got his first paycheck today, right? He just needed a little bit of help, you know what I mean? Like I helped him with some bus passes and, we did a wellness session, real quick, just building with him. But I really feel good helping the community. I still do music. Hey, anybody out there, y'all, hey, the Truth Never Dies movement, it continues, right? Hey, look me up on my website, www.leonbenson.org, and you can see where you can book me for consulting, you can book me for event planning, you can book me to facilitate. I told y'all my book, Letters of Gratitude, I Am Because We Are by Leon Benson, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, it's everywhere. Hey, tap in with me on Instagram, up under EL_BENTLY_448. Come check me out there. I got the music on deck. Hey, now here's my thing. I had to step in for the vote. Kamala, right? She popped up. I see, her opponent. I'm like, man, I did a Kamala song, man. Because I think it's a historic run for her. I think she deserved it in this context. We already took care of all the local politics. Yeah. Always, man, vote local. But this is symbolism, in my opinion, when you look at, the candidates for U.S. president, on that level. It's more symbolic than it is your local councilman, your mayor, your chief of police. You got to get in and vote for these people. These are the people and officials that immediately impact you. But people that far up the ladder in the federal situation, they're symbolic, right? So why would I want somebody that's peddling hate and catering to a peanut gallery? We don't need that. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going nowhere. I'm straight up and down American. I come from I'm straight up and down, man. My people, look, you talk about lineage. Who built this country?
That's a whole nother.
Who built this country?
That's the part 3 episode.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's tone this one up, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up because say your thing.
Yeah, man. Man, this has been This has been a powerful episode. Thank you.
Great episode.
Thank you.
Hey man, I appreciate that.
Thank you for
Great
stopping
episode.
by and dropping wisdom and nuggets of encouragement and enlightenment
Real talk.
to us. It's been like being able to be around you since you've been home, hearing stories about you while you were gone. Like I wish it didn't take so long. I just put that together.
Man.
I just put that together. I just came off top the dome. That just came off top the dome, you know what I'm saying? But thank you though. Much gratitude to you
Appreciate you.
and your loved ones for sharing space with us and allowing us to be a part of your journey as well.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, and as we close, do you have any last words you want to leave with the people, with the audience?
Hey, the last words that I want to say is, say his name. Justice for Casey Shane. Say his name. Justice for Casey Shane. Justice for all the other brothers and sisters that's incarcerated. Abadja Ben Israel, say his name, he's innocent. Philip Stroud, say his name, he's innocent. Demetrius Burks, say his name, he's over sentence. He was a juvenile offender, he's been in there 25 years. A great brother. Say his name, Raylon Young is innocent, you know he's still in prison. Say his name. It's so many people. Kevin Rowley, say his name. That brother is innocent. So say their names out there and keep the people alive and fight for them and know that your vote, your action makes a difference. Truth never dies.
Love that. Well, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead
Yo.
Your Lineage podcast. We hope y'all
Need to
enjoyed
go
this as much
eat.
as we did. I'm about to go and grab me some food too, cause by that time,
My daughter, y'all.
for sure.
Where the camera at? I want to show my daughter.
Absolutely.
Where the camera at?
Okay.
My baby.
Did we get quantum right here?
No, we about to end it now. That was definitely the wrong camera, but it's all good.
No. I'm trying. I don't know what I was trying to do. I was just going to the closest camera.
It's all good. It's all
messed
good.
up, but it's all good.
Shout out to my beautiful cousins. For sure. But yeah, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. As we always love to say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. We'll see y'all next time.
You know, I'm in a rush to go eat. You know, I ain't
Hey, I'm
Hey,
even
man, I
starving though.
appreciate that, man.
Hey, so you want me to come?
Man, hey, I appreciate
No,
that, bro.
for real, man.
And we definitely got it in. Y'all was in there.
We need